Hi there. I wanted to talk a little bit about our January-February online program. It's called Gift, and it's looking at the reality or getting real with our purpose, with learning, and with our unique expression out in the world. Because it's all very well to say there's no self, there's no reality, there are no others. And that's true. That is true, isn't it? It's true. And at the same time, there is still this localization here. There's still learning happening here in this mind body. The self might be a creation of beliefs. The way others appear to us is a creation of beliefs, but those beliefs are happening here. And we're going to look at how a greater understanding of the created idea of what we are, of how that can never be true, and how when that falls away, what remains is this flourishing space of aliveness, really, of beingness. And it's aliveness in form, isn't it? It's in the form of a body. It's alive in a world in which there are things arising. There are emotions. There's creations. There's ideas. There's challenges. There's obstacles. And how does all that fit together? How can we get really, really sane about this idea of self and about this idea of reality? And what happens when we do? What happens to motivation? What happens to commitment? What happens to ideas of success and failure? What happens to relationships? What happens to that inner authenticity, that inner yes or no, that deepest heart's desire, the yearning, the calling, all of it? What happens to it all? We're going to have a look at that, because it seems to be so exciting, so full of potential. So it really seems to be about the unlearning of all the rules, the limits, the boundaries, the expectations, the needs, the fears that sort of kept this experience of life in check, sort of creates this reality. This is what I am, and this is what you are, and this is what the world is. And there's no question about that. But once there is a question about that, and those edges start to dissolve, what becomes possible then? What what is that flourishing that emerges, that passion, that pipeline really through from idea, like where do they even come from, into creation, into form? None of it done by a self, none of it done by this idea of this individual that we think we are. And yet there's a living out of the freedom and the peacefulness, the joy, the exhilaration, the passion of life itself, and life in a miraculous form. Yeah, doesn't get better. So we're going to look at that for 2 months. We're going to, there'll be emails and material, there'll be homework, little exercises to do every 3 days, a webinar every evening at 8 o'clock UK time, not every evening, every Monday evening, 8 o'clock UK time. We'll have a discussion group, we'll have buddies. There's the option of having a subliminal recording done for you, which a subliminal is an audio recording where there's an audible sound, and underneath that audible sound are messages that speak directly to the subconscious. They don't go via the filter, via that critical filter of the conscious mind, of the self mind. They go straight through, and that I would write them myself based on your answers to a specific questionnaire. And so much of my background is in that area of NLP and the writing of really clean suggestions that go directly through. Hypnosis, all of it. I've done so much of that. So I'm using all of that now. I hadn't thought that I would be using it again, but here it is. And this seems to be the perfect space for it to speak directly to that bit in us, that aliveness in us, to speak directly to it, to allow it to become louder and more visible, more obviously what we are. And so the suggestions, the inaudible suggestions, I would write about 30 or 40 of them, and it would be an hour-long recording then that you can listen to anytime, when you're going to sleep, when you wake up, when you're hanging around doing the dishes, whatever. But that would be something to do on request if you want to have that. And it would be directly related to the unveiling of the deepest inner authenticity of our being, the deepest passion, the deepest aliveness and potential that we really are. So I hope you'll join us. It'll be a good one. I know this will be good. And let me know if any questions, and see you soon, I hope. Bye.